Hey folks.
Ready? What's up guys, welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode we're doing a movie that you guys cannot stop hounding me about. Like, I've never felt internet bullied before until it came to this movie. And just so you guys know, we weren't avoiding doing this movie. The boys just weren't in town. I've been busy with paramedic school and I'm working in EMS now to try and gain some experience so I can go do cool stuff. Kurt just started that new unit, that special operations unit in Florida. I'm doing this paramedic thing. So we're busy. So when we get together, then we film in batches. So the whole time we're waiting for this trip to come up and you guys are just hounding us about warfare. Like, if you guys don't think that you have power on this channel, think again. You stress me out. That being said, good news, ruck trainers are coming back. I've been getting a lot of questions about the ruck trainers. Because everyone's been so busy, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I assemble them myself. So they all come in, I put them all together with pieces from like 4 different manufacturers. It takes me a long time. It's a lot of work. So I put that on pause for a while, but we are getting those spun back up and we have the orders in process. Orders coming from the US, we got parts made from US and outside the US, and then I put them all together for you guys. So those are coming back, so stay tuned for that. Let's jump into warfare.
Going for.
Is that white Hilux still there?
And then Hilux pulled out like 5 minutes ago. But I got a male, white shirt, dark tracksuit pants, looking in our position. That sound familiar?
Negative. ID any weapons?
No weapons.
Hey, everyone talks about sniping positions and how cool it would be, but being a sniper would be so boring, dude.
You just get stuck there for hours.
Yeah, you're there for hours, like to the point where you have to pee and like sometimes you'll have little things to pee in so you don't get up, or poop in bags and things like that. Like, you got to find ways to pee while you're still keeping an eye on your position. Because anytime you take your eyes off what you're supposed to be looking at, something can happen. You missed it, and now you guys get overrun because you're the Overwatch. So another thing that they're doing, and the most important thing for this position is the patterns of life. So your whole job is to understand what normal looks like, so that way you could identify when something is abnormal. And that abnormal thing could save your life. But if you don't understand patterns of life in that area for those people, the type of people that are there, how they move, when they move, the times that they move, you can't identify when something goes astray, and then you're putting yourself and your team at risk because you can't say, hey, something's off. It's not going to be like some guys just walking around with an AK being like, we're ready to shoot at you. You know, it's going to be little subtle things like the women and children leaving. There's more military age males in the area. They're acting a little more erratic. There's more vehicles coming in and out. There's one specific vehicle that's been there longer than usual, and it looks like they're loading something potentially HME, homemade explosives, into it. So the biggest thing is identifying what normal looks like, so that way you could identify what abnormal looks like.
One thing I really appreciate so far is they didn't color grade it yellow.
Yeah,
Anytime they go to the Middle East, anytime they go anywhere, they color grade it yellow and orange to sell the fact that they're in the desert.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they know this about the desert, but it's brown anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't have to add the brown color.
You don't have to add more brown.
Yeah.
It's probably because they're just sitting there somewhere in LA and they're like, let's make it look more like the
Let's
desert.
make it look more orange.
Roger that, Profane. Hey, is there a reason they're pulling air from us and not switching it from somewhere else?
I'm on it.
What's up?
Just lost air support. Pushing to Bravo.
Wild Eagle Base, Wild Eagle 2-4. Profane 5-4 checked off station at this time. I'm looking for any available air assets, over.
That's not good. Your troops in contact.
A-firm, Wild Eagle Base. Standing by.
How much of that did you get?
Not a lot.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, aside from they're not getting air support, and then instead of saying a tick, he said troops in contact, which was surprising to me that he didn't abbreviate it, but other than that.
Yeah, so this essentially is the whole crux of the movie. This like 30-second clip of losing the air support is where everything goes wrong. So to people watching, they're like, oh, no Overwatch, well, who cares? You're a group of SEALs, you guys got weapons, you have grenades, you have tactics, you have everything you need. But the reality is losing air support is everything. Like when you plan your operation, you plan it with the things that you're going to need, to include air support and the type of air support that you need. Your Overwatch could be a drone just keeping eyes on. It could be an Apache, so that way you have weapons access at all times from the air. It could be, a C-130 gunship that is at any point in time able to just doof, 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 and completely explode a house and level a house. So you plan your mission based on your air assets. So to plan your mission and say, this is what we need, this is what's going to keep us safe, this is how the mission needs to go, and then troops in contact happens and your air gets pulled, that's huge. I mean, you wouldn't have went on that mission without that air support because it's so vital to your success. So if you were in the planning phase and that was denied, you wouldn't go on the op. And if you did, you would change up your tactics to accommodate for not having that air.
Yeah.
So to just pull that rug out from under them like that, and it happens all the time because troops in contact, hey man, those guys could die and you're sitting there at this moment safe. So it happens all the time, but if you guys didn't pick that up when you first watched it, this is what changes their entire operation, because with the air up, they'd be able to identify the fact that they have a bunch of military-age males moving in on their position. They would be able to prepare for that. They would stop them from taking vantage points up on their roof and the roofs around them, and the tactics would have been completely different had they known what was coming at them with their air support. But once they lost that, they're sitting in an enclosed space looking out the window, which makes them so vulnerable to people creeping in from the outside and getting really good vantage points, and they have no idea it's happening.
Yeah, you wouldn't even think of that as a civilian watching this, or at least somebody who doesn't care about tactics. You forget that they can't see through walls.
Right.
So in most movies, people start closing in on them and they start acting like they know what's going on. They start getting ready for it, but you never really think that air support's the only real way you would know.
Right.
This house, you can't see outside.
There were so many times in Afghanistan we were just moving and we're walking down the street at night and all of a sudden they're like, hey, you got 6 packs up on this hill moving towards you. And they're like, what? And like we were down on a road at one point and there was like a cliff right here. And on top of it is a plateau and 6 guys were moving up on it. They know that terrain. That was a super intelligent move on their part, because if they would have got to that, they would have had us in a fatal funnel just raining bullets on us. The only thing that saved our lives was air support going, hey, you guys got 6 packs moving on your location. We got weapons? Yeah, they got weapons. Light them up. So those guys are about to go, conduct a really good assault on us. And luckily air was above and said, "Toof, toof, 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 toof." Now all of a sudden we're walking along, guys moving, yep, guys dead, yep, keep walking.
So most of the time they're just counting on you guys not having air support, right? Because they have to be used to it at this point. They have to know that at any point in time they're going to start getting hit from the top. But they still conduct the missions anyway.
Who are you talking about?
Afghans.
They're not very concerned with air support. They know how to fight around it. I've been in gunfights where they have hidden themselves so well that aircraft is literally saying, we cannot see them, we cannot see them, we cannot see them. And we are actively getting shot. When the Terp got shot next to me, all these things are happening with an Apache going overhead, ready to just kill anything and everyone, and he can't find anyone to shoot because they know how to fight.
It's just years of war.
It's years of war they've accommodated for our air support, so they know how to keep themselves covered, concealed. They'll move underground. They'll move from house to house. They know how to shoot, move, and communicate to get away with air support, mainly by doing it during the day. Because at night, we own the night. Because you can't move at night without being a glowing white halo on IR. But if you move during the day, there's nothing, we have to be able to see you. And the aircraft has to see you, and it's so hard. So Afghans really aren't that worried about our air superiority.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Until it's at night, and the ones that go at night, they're just dumb.
Be like, go do this. I'd be like, I don't want to go out there, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up there.
And I can't even call them dumb because they're just gambling that whether or not we have air support or not. If that day, when those guys were up on that cliff, if we did not have air support, we're in a world of hurt.
Right.
And they would have had the major advantage on us. Yeah. They took a 50-50 shot and they lost.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like when they leave, they're like, well, if they have air support, we're screwed.
Yep.
They're like, well, either way, let's go.
Yep. And so they're brave fighters. I'll never take that away from an Afghan. There's some brave SOBs, man. I would never look down on an Afghan fighter. Oof. Yo, this gives me heebie-jeebies, dude.
Flashbacks?
It's so bad. It's so bad, and this is why you want air support, because they should have been able to know that those guys are moving in on their position. But without air support, now they're not moving in on you. They are on you.
Yeah.
You are shoulder to shoulder with those dudes, and they are surrounding you. Think about being inside of a room, and the whole neighborhood wants to kill you.
And you only have so much ammo.
You only have so much ammo. You're stuck inside. Imagine right now sitting in my neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood decides we're gonna kill this guy at this address. Yeah. And you're just sitting in there with, yeah, you may have your bros and some ammo and some good tactics, but they're able to come up with a plan, coordinate their plan, move in on you. And before you know it, there's some out here, there's some out there, there's some on the roofs up over here.
Right.
We're in a really bad way. But if we would have had Overwatch, same scenario, they're moving in on us, the Overwatch would say, hey, you got 2 guys to your northeast getting on the roof. No, sir, I'm gonna take the sniper rifle, ka-poof, ka-poof. Took care of that situation. All right, now you have 2 guys southwest getting on top of that roof. Now we could break down their plan as they're building it up, instead of them being able to completely build it up and then initiate their fight. Losing air support was the main part of this movie. And that's, anybody watching it that didn't know that, now you'll understand why. There's just nothing it could do. These guys didn't plan for this. They planned to have eyes on the whole time. Once that was taken away, they got shafted. And another part is just timing, because they've been watching those guys for days. Those guys, how did they know that they lost air support?
Right.
So the Afghans that are attacking these guys, or the Iraqis, I think they're pretty sure they're in Iraq, they just got super lucky that they initiated the attack without air support.
All right, we're all right. We're up! Copy. Go, Mac. Alpha 2, we're about to blow Claymores. Blow Claymores down. Roger. Fire the hole! Go!
So I love this, their Claymore exfil plan. So obviously they had to have the foresight to say, hey, we're moving into this building. At some point we could become surrounded. So you just always have those backup plans for your E&E, escape and evasion. So you would say, okay, so if we have to E&E out of here, where are we gonna go? What's gonna be our most obvious? And you're gonna want a primary and a secondary. So primary exfil, and then if that one is the place where they overrun you, then you wanna have a secondary. And so both your primary and secondary exfil are gonna need to be protected. Claymores are the perfect weapon system for that, because all a Claymore is a directional charge with pellets inside of it. So the main damage is not the explosive itself, but the pellets that it shoots out. So it's more about the secondary impacts that you get instead of the primary explosion damages that you get on like your internal organs from the blast wave. You're really looking for fragmentation.
Okay.
So they picked essentially with this one, they decided to do a 360 E&E plan, because you could go out any which way, and they must have had just that many Claymores. But they had Claymores set up, and then you have the clacker, and you run the wire, so it's all hardwired, so you don't have to rely on signals not working or anything like that. You have a hardwire clacker, and then as soon as you're ready to go, you can clack it, and anybody that's set up ready to ambush you on your way out hopefully gets hit by some shrapnel, and you've bought yourself some time. Even if you just get their heads down, it's still just
for a second. Yeah.
Just for a second, it's still enough time to get you to be able to E&E out of there. So really love that plan. Obviously, that's just good tactics, and it's good foresight, because you can get lulled. And this is what Afghans, Iraqis, all those, ISIS and the Taliban, they are infamous for hitting us on the way out. So they love, one of their major tactics, and works so well, is to lull you into a sense of comfort and smash you right as you're about to leave.
Okay.
Like we've cleared entire valleys, about ready to leave, and all of a sudden RPGs, and they just let you have it. And it's like, you thought, oh, we're good, we've been in the valley, we own this valley, now we're about to leave, and they send everything they got at you.
Man.
And it is...
Just wait till they're comfortable. Just wait till they're done. Don't get them when they're like on high alert and ready to going in and ready to fight. That doesn't make any sense. Just wait until they're just all packing stuff up. They're all tired. They're like, oh, let's get out of here.
And that's when
start
they hit you.
blowing shit up.
Without fail, it happened almost every single time. It's like, they're not stupid.
Is that an IED?
Yeah. So obviously they had a remote detonated IED. So you know that it wasn't a pressure plate because the tank rolled over top of it and it didn't go off. The Afghan interpreters came out and it didn't go off, and it wasn't until they saw the Americans that they detonated the IED. So somewhere they had built in a signal, so they'll like call it with a phone or whatever to initiate the IED. But again, perfect example of that tactic, wait till you leave.
Right.
You can hit them a little bit to get them riled up and to start their process of, hey, we got to get out of here, and then lull them into, you could feel the lull. Even in the movie, they did a good job of capturing that lull. Like, is it over? Did we fight back enough to where they hit and then took off?
Yeah.
And then they hit you with the IED and reinitiate their assault. And so it's just good enemy tactics. Okay, this part's hard to watch with, not only because he's injured, but just because I'm pretty sure he's the medic.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm certain he's the medic because at some point he's telling him where his morphine's at. But it's hard to watch, especially being in paramedic school. It's like it's really hard to watch this because instantly you just want to throw tourniquets on. You want to start get some IVs on this guy. You want to start hanging some blood. You want to start throwing some TXA. There's so many things we could start doing to start combating, obviously, his blood loss. And TXA is to help avoid your body breaking down the clots.
Okay.
So that way you could, if you have any internal bleeding, that's how you're gonna, help your body clot faster and keep those clots. And then obviously tourniqueting his legs is super important, and stopping all that bleeding. So there's just so many things that an 18 Delta could do. I'm not sure if our 18 Delta had blood, but now on the ambulance at where I work, we have blood. So giving whole blood in situations like this is so vital. Like, we need blood replacement. So not only the first thing, we need to stop that bleeding. Second thing, obviously your ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation, first being your major bleeding, but also you really need to get blood back into this guy. So hopefully they had some platelets on there if they didn't have whole blood, but TXA, whole blood, fluids, and it's hard to not see all these things happening. And then you also want to be careful about what kind of pain management you do in trauma, right? Because a lot of them have parasympathetic agonists, so they could, drop your blood pressure, and obviously you don't want to drop blood pressure. You also could be concerned about sympathetic agonists with your beta 1, beta 2, because if you're bleeding out and now you increase your inotropy and dromotropy, now your heart rate and your heart strength, you're pushing that blood out faster. So you don't want to drop the blood pressure. You don't want to increase his heart rate too fast and make him bleed out faster. It's just something I'd never thought about before. I'm like, oh, you throw tourniquets on. You put pressure and throw tourniquets. And then now we're learning about it. It's like, oh, there's so much more we could do to save these guys' lives, which Deltas are 100% trained to do. But I don't know how the SEALs do it. I'm sure they have at least I'm sure they have a medic that goes through SOCM and is very capable, but I'm also very sure that the guy that got hit was their medic, which is worst case scenario. All right, I love that scene because it just shows the one of the operators is just becoming overwhelmed, and he hits a point where his brain just like, I'm checking out, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just a response to so much trauma happening at the same time that his brain just wants to disassociate. It's like, hey, this is not safe. We are overwhelmed. We don't know what decision to make right now, or we're just too overwhelmed. We're just gonna back out, and we'll come back when everything's calmed down a little bit.
Right.
And so you just start to stare off into space. It happens all the time in war. And it doesn't make somebody a coward by any means. It just, everybody has their moment when they become system overload, task overload, trauma overload, and their brains just want to take a break and tap out for a second. And that's when you start getting that 1,000-yard stare. But all you do as a teammate is identify that and step in and help your teammates out. And that's what teams are all about. We don't judge each other for that. We shouldn't. I have in the past, and it's caused me a lot of regret. One that even 10 years later, I've called teammates and be like, I'm really sorry, man.
Well, I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually did that. I called a teammate recently and was like, hey, man, I said something. I'm really sorry. I should have never said that to you. I was in a state of just trauma and it's hard to even explain at 10 years later what you were thinking to try and judge another man in such a crazy state of war. But now I look at it and it's like, no, we're supposed to be there to help each other and get each other through that stuff. And that's what his teammate did here. He saw him. He's in the 1,000-yard stare. He's struggling with his dexterity to get the tourniquet on. So he steps in and helps him out. And then later on, the team leader ends up having his own breakdown, which could have been 100 things. He's got blown up. He could have had concussions. He could have had DIA. So there's all kinds of things that could have happened to his brain, to his internal organs, that he's actually has damage, and he just doesn't know it. And so he's feeling off, feeling weird, feeling like he just needs to sit down and disconnect. That could be internal bleeding, his body telling him like something's not right, something happened when we got blown up. So I just really like how this movie's able to capture people hitting that moment of system overload, your brains not want to work anymore, without making them look like they're being cowards. It's just how it goes. And you kind of help each other get through it, because everyone typically does at a different time.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have a breakdown the same time as I have a breakdown.
Right.
I don't know how that works, but it always works that way. Is I'm going to be on it, you're going to have your breakdown, and then we'll swap. Because if we both have a breakdown at the same time, we're just going to go hug and cry in a corner.
Well, it's mental limits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're rarely going to experience the same thing as another human being at the same time.
I mean, look at that. I mean, that scene just shows that there's some situations you're going to be in combat where there's just no right answer.
Yeah.
There's no good answer. There's just do the best that you can. And these guys are just doing the best they can. They're moving through open streets with the guys already in position. They are in rooftops. They are in windows. They are completely settled, comfortable with cover and concealment. Mm-hmm. And you are just the big open target running through the street, and there's nothing you can do about it because you have to move. So you just try to be accurate and fast and pray a lot, because that's all you got.
Which having to move is a crazy concept for somebody who's not in that. Like for me, I want to hide, right? Like, hey, like if they're hidden, like let me hide and just wait. And it's like, wait for what?
Yep.
You have to move. Like you have to keep going.
You wait, you die.
I know.
Because everybody's out there. So if you sit there and get vapor lock, is what I would call it, is, when you can't move because the fear's kind of overtaking you, then they get closer and they get closer and they get closer. And then before you know it, You gave all your tactics away. You have no mobility, you have no angles, and now you're just waiting to get drugged through the streets like Black Hawk Down.
It's difficult to see it that way because you just want to hide.
Yep. Everything about you wants to hide, but you know that in order to survive, you have to move. You cannot sit still.
That's a sick shot.
That was a decision that saved their lives.
Having the tanks go out and start blasting?
Having the tanks go out and start blasting all the second floors, including theirs, in the whole area, was the tactical decision that saved all their lives. They were doomed. It was over. This was a wrap. They were all supposed to die in that house. Those fighters were not going to give up until they ran out of ammo, and they pushed in and killed them all. The saving grace was making the tactical decision to have those tanks come in and just wreck shop. And now the other thing that I like that this movie showed is the downside to that. They go and they exfil and they're gone, and now this family that was sleeping, minding their own business with kids and a husband and a wife, now they're just left with blood all over their floor from a soldier. Their home is absolutely demolished. I don't know how USAA or homeowners insurance works in Iraq, but it's probably not the best, you know?
Imagine.
So it just shows both sides of war. It's like sometimes, you know, we like to look at ourselves as the good guys, but war is ugly, and war is just, it's evil in a lot of ways, and we do evil things. Imagine you're at home sleeping with your family, and some foreign country, some foreign military guys run into your house, hold you hostage, hold your kids hostage at gunpoint, destroy your house, bleed all over your stuff, and then just like this, they walk out and are gone, and you're left with half your home, everything destroyed, your neighborhood's destroyed, people are dead all around you, and all because some other military force that happens to live in your area, ISIS or Taliban, decided to pick a fight with the U.S. You're caught in the middle.
Yeah.
So it just shows both sides of it. It's like we are never always the good guys. Like we think that, and we like to think that, but history will show you that we've done some evil, truly evil things.
I mean, you have to really be able to decipher when something is truly sad. It just is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. Dropping a bomb on Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, just
there's some things that are just truly sad. I
Yeah.
mean, it is what you can't change why. You can't things are gonna happen regardless. But if you can at least look at it and be like, this is terrible. Like this is not a good thing.
Yep. All right, guys, you asked for it. There it was.
You wanted this.
You wanted this, but it is a great movie. I'm super impressed with the director. Well, I'm pretty sure he's a former Navy SEAL. I think, as a matter of fact, Kurt was talking to him, and he's also a super great guy. He was trying to give us early access to review it before the movie came out, which would have been really cool to do, but with the timing just didn't work out for our content trip and for the director. But he didn't need our help by any means. This movie just did its own justice. You guys have been hounding us to watch it. So congratulations to all the actors. Congratulations to the director. You made an amazing war movie. And I think that you hit on some things that, a lot of people have missed. And that's dealing with, concussions, trauma, having vapor lock in combat, like having just mental override, having to support each other through that kind of stuff. It was a great movie, and he did a phenomenal job. And
comment down below if you guys want Kurt to make his own set of notes, and they can run it back again and do the movie again. It's going to be a different perspective. I think it'd be pretty cool, especially with him, like knowing, talking to the director and sort of viewing it from a different angle. I think that would be cool. So comment down below if you guys want that. If you guys want that, I'll make sure that they do this again on the next trip, and then you guys will have two of them.
Yeah. So, and what might be cool is to start getting more veterans, so like Tyler Gray or other soft guys, and start redoing some of the classics that we had already done, but from a different perspective. Yeah. So Black Hawk Down, Lone Survivor, all those ones that we really enjoyed watching. Let's get some Rangers in. Let's get some CAG guys in. Let's get some other guys to watch these and give us their perspectives, because let's be honest. Those movies are so good. It's not like anything's going to come and replace them anytime soon. So
We've been waiting.
yeah,
It's not happening.
and we watch everything that comes out, and this, so we'll just take the good ones and start adding different perspectives to them, so we could just keep looking at the same cool movies more often.
Exactly.
Because all the trash that comes out lately, not this one, but there's some very bad movies that come out, and we have to watch them, and it's pretty tough. But I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Let us know what you think. Drop some comments below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you appreciate us. We appreciate you guys. Don't talk about my haircut because I got too much taken off, and I don't need to be berated by you because it hurts my feelings.
I'm bald, bro.
I'm almost there now after this haircut.
At least yours will grow back.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Peace.